They've actually been building this up for some time. Notice the timing of all this, the shooting in Orlando, how a group is targeted that already feels like it's a targeted group. So now they can turn the homosexual population, what members of it, which are easily mind controlled, that is, against a whole group of people. I think a lot of the stories about Americans joining ISIS are completely false. There aren't enough Americans that are actually questioning how true the stuff actually is. As we see more and more Middle Eastern people demonized, as we see more Middle Eastern countries attacked, millions of victims of war, people say stupid things, no wonder why they hate us. Well, actually, there's plenty of Middle Eastern immigrants that love the United States, and I say that in a good way, but also in a Stockholm syndrome, there are many that love it in an almost a manic way. Like, don't hurt me, we seriously love you, and you're American pie. And it's really sad that those Middle Eastern immigrants that have come here, that have earned master's degrees, that have gone on to work for the military, that are working most of their lives in some industry or another, it's very sad that a lot of Americans are starting to look at people from other countries in a certain light. And we've gone how many years without a real genuine terror attack against the United States? Since 9/11? Well, officially, that's changed now, as they're calling it the biggest terror attack in U.S. history. My friend said, well, maybe you're going to have to go into hiding in 7 to 10 years in the event of some sort of a Holocaust. And that's actually what they are telegraphing. They are telegraphing that some sort of a roundup or a Holocaust, some sort of targeting of Middle Eastern people. Who knows, maybe they'll attack people by name, or label people by name, or round people up by name, or country of birth, or father's country of birth. You know, there aren't enough people out there that actually have empathy for other human beings. And that's what this is really about. This is really about, on one level, they have some Americans terrorized, and, there are people texting their children going, oh my God, we hear that ISIS is invading, you need to get well armed. And it's really sad to know and be told this, that certain mothers out there of certain younger people that I know have contacted them via text and email saying ISIS is coming, the TV is telling us. Well, how does someone actually know if someone's a member of ISIS in their community? Well, maybe they could be saying Allah Akbar, signifying they're a Muslim, or maybe they are a darker skinned individual, maybe unshaven, maybe someone that looks suspicious. And the fact of the matter is, this is happening. The real people that are being terrorized, despite the susceptible minds of Americans that have allowed themselves to be terrorized by fake news, it's really the people that live in a day and age where they could be targeted based on their name, their religion, their friends, their wife, their husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, family, things of that nature. And it's not even just about Middle Eastern people. You have a multicultural country, whether you like that or not, where there are darker skinned individuals running around all over the place. One thing that I thought of when I was in high school, briefly living in Northern Virginia outside Washington, D.C., during that brief period when I had to live with my father's family, I noticed the similarity in appearance between some Middle Eastern people, especially youth and teenagers, between some of those people descending from those countries and Hispanics. And the gray area between specifically some Hispanics and some people from India. And actually wondering, noticing as I grew up and got a chance to see women, other than just straight, regular white women, but women from other parts of the world, how beautiful some of them were. And I remember one girl trying to figure out whether she was Hispanic or East Indian, and not really knowing, and seeing how she really could be both. Now, that's what I'm going to leave you with now. We are entering a very dangerous time in American history, where a segment of the population that we are in, some of you are in that segment of the population, but for some reason you're watching this channel, that are convinced that Muslims are invading America through the form of ISIS, pretty much discounting completely all the documented information about intelligence agencies creating some of these groups. And it's funny, in a day and age where people don't like how patriots and people in the liberty movement and, quote, sovereign citizens are being demonized by DHS, they don't seem to have a problem with the way Trump and others speak about a whole group of people. So now that we've had the Orlando shootings, what you really need to know is that the real people that are being terrorized, they're being affected right now emotionally, not even so much physically right now, but emotionally with fear, are people afraid that they may fit the profile in a day and age where they've blurred the lines between Middle Eastern immigrant and even Middle Eastern and ISIS, a creation of the CIA and other linked intelligence groups. Will this actually lead to a roundup and a Holocaust, which could then lead to other things? Or are they desensitizing Americans to the fake invasion, the fake Middle Eastern invasion, to confuse them, traumatize them, terrify them, but ultimately distract them from the other greater foreign military invasion, i.e. China, Russia, others? So is this a giant distraction to take people away from the real potential threats that some of us speak of that could be coming down the line? And could they use a Holocaust situation, rounding people up by name, to force the world to demand foreign military intervention in American policies? I don't have a crystal ball, but I think we're going to find out in the next decade. I'm Alex Ansary, signing off from somewhere out there in Southwest Colorado, June 14th, 2016.